Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Stewart. I am your instructor for this semester. Um, my camera on my video on my screen's here, but my syllabus is here, so I'm going to be reading kind of off the syllabus, going through some of the important things that we need to know or that you need to know before you start and as you go through the semester. First of all, this is an 8-week class, so it's going to be very, very fast paced. I would encourage you to first look at the under the Start Here section, look under the course schedule. Every week, this won't be traditional midterms and then final exam. Every week we will have a unit that has 2 chapters and maybe one sometimes, but then a unit exam at the end of every week. So the important things to know are that you have quizzes, pre-quizzes. This is basically quick exercises to do on Tuesdays. On Thursdays, your homework is due. And on Fridays, that's when your exam is open. So you will click on these assignments in Moodle, and it will take you to the McGraw-Hill Connect page where you will complete the assignment. So the quizzes, again, like these lectures and the quizzes and the homework, it's impossible to cover the entire chapter through the short period of time that we do. So I'm basically, in order to not overload you with homework and quiz material for preparation, I'm picking out kind of the important things and then relying on you to fill in the gaps, right? So the important things will be represented on the quizzes and the homework, and then when you get to the exam, you can obviously use your notes and use your book to complete those questions, but you can't use things like the internet. Okay, so you can use your notes and your book, and that those type of things are fine, because again, we just don't have time to lecture and cover everything that's in the chapter. We just have to hit kind of the high points and rely on you to, if you don't know something, either reach out to me to ask a question or skim back through the book to try to put the pieces together. So be very aware of the course schedule. Things are going to move very quickly, and every week things will be due. With the exam, it will open essentially at 11:59 p.m. on Thursday night and closed at 11:59 p.m. on Friday night. So you will have one full day to take the exam. During that time, they will be timed. You will have a certain amount of time to complete it once you open and start the exam, but you should be able to start it at any given point in time during the day. Now, most importantly is probably this one statement here, which is if you have issues, if you have trouble, concerns, questions, you should get with me early on, and we should talk sooner than later, because if we have problems and we forget about things and we don't talk about them until they're due or after they're due, my options for helping you become very limited. So with that being said, please try to contact me as soon as you see something on the horizon as far as becoming an issue. Okay, so the syllabus. When you open the syllabus, you'll see my contact information, a brief explanation of what's going on in the class or what we hope to achieve, and then all 8 units. Each unit corresponds to 1 week in Moodle, basically. So week 1, you will open it. You will find the link to the quizzes and the homework, and then ultimately the exam. And you'll take all of those things through McGraw-Hill Connect. There's some learning objectives. Of course, these are basically generalized for science, since this is a very physical sciences class, is a very generalized topic. It basically says that for this class, I really want to focus on conceptual understanding. This isn't going to be a class where we're really focused on, equation shopping. Just we're finding an equation that looks like it works and trying it to see, right? You can find your required textbook here in the syllabus, but I've also included a link to the textbook under the ebook section under Start Here. So it will go, course overview in Moodle, then start here, and then the textbook, and then week 1. You should be able to click on that link and access the beginning of the textbook after you've paid for, access to the online rights to it and all the good things. There'll be 8 exams. They'll all be taken through Connect and proctored through the Proctorio app. We've dealt with this a few times in Moodle. I think that it's fairly streamlined now, but if you do have any problems, again, problems are best dealt with sooner than later. There is an activity and there is a research paper due. The activity is due halfway through the term, and the research paper is due at the end of the term of the 8 weeks. All of this can be found on the schedule, and I will have instructions as we get a little bit closer to that time about what to do with the activity and the research paper. We do have tools to detect AI generated content. I understand that this is a very powerful tool for learning. It helps to be able to ask questions and kind of sort things out, but it's not perfect, right? And whenever we grade things as instructors, we really want to see things that are coming from you. And so while you might be able to use the tools, make sure that you keep AI as a tool and not a representation of yourself. So whenever you turn in the research papers, Moodle will automatically flag things for me. And I also have some other tools that give me variable percentages of, this is AI generated content, this is probably student related content. I've got a threshold of 70%. If there is a 70% likelihood or higher that your material is AI generated, then you will get a 0 for that assignment. So your backyard activity, for instance, if you plug this into AI and just turn that in, you're not going to get credit for it, right? I want you to be engaged, I want you to be focused, and I want you to learn, what you can out of this general survey of physics and physical sciences. The grading scale is also included in the syllabus as you go down, and the weights for participation, homework, and quizzes are also there. So how do you earn participation in an online class? Well, there'll be a forum at the beginning of every week. Okay, so as you do your reading, as you go through and watch the videos, if they're available for that content, you should be asking questions on the forum site or on the forum page. This is primarily for student-to-student information or contact, right? So you can ask questions, you can answer questions, you can talk to each other. If you're participating on the forum, that's how you're going to get participation points for the class. If you have a more personal question or if you have a personal issue, that would be directed more towards me through my email or other contact means that you can find in the syllabus. There is one forum named General Announcements. This one is reserved for me. Unfortunately, Moodle does not have a contact, app. So I will send out a general announcement if I need to contact everybody at once. And I need you to make sure that you have your notifications turned on, because that's going to be my primary means of communication to you as a group. So don't reply to those. If you need to reply to them, probably send me an email directly. But that forum and that thread will be reserved basically for me to contact everybody in the group all at once. If you have accommodations or anything else, you can contact me directly. If you ever get lost in a way to contact me, you can go down to the very bottom of your Moodle page and there's a contact form. Basically, it says, it's got my email, it's got a link to various different things. You should always be able to contact me directly. Please, though, give me at least 24 hours, because if I leave and don't open my computer until I get back to work the next day, it may take me a moment to get to your emails. If it's urgent, you can always call and leave a voicemail on my phone, and I will get that back to you as soon as possible. Other than that, that's the basic idea of the class. My personal kind of the thing that's important the most to me is that you talk to me, right? I can move mountains for you if you let me work with you, but if you're constantly working against me and causing more trouble than we are doing good by waiting until the last minute and having to shuffle, trying to get things done, it's going to be difficult to really make things work for either of us. So early contact, constant contact. I'm not going to get upset the more that you contact me, um, as long as they're not just absolutely silly questions. But we can deal with that as we go, especially over the homework. If you have questions over the homework and just can't figure out the concept, maybe you got the answer, you figured out the equation, but you just don't understand why. I'm more than happy to have a Zoom chat with you as far as lining out the concept and the idea, and maybe we can move forward and turn you all into aspiring scientists after all. Uh, Other than that, I don't have anything else. If I didn't address anything or if you have any other questions, please let me know. And good luck. Enjoy the semester. And goodbye.